What up?
Hey. Welcome to the show, guys. Another episode here at the PlaytechNZ studio. Ooh, it's way too bright.
Yeah, it's way too bright.
Oh my gosh, I look pale like Casper the Ghost.
My eyes. No, it's just one of them.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'll do.
I'm telling you, the weather's just messing with me in more than one way. Not just
Nature
health-wise.
doesn't like you. Don't you
No,
realize
nature doesn't like me. I shouldn't be here right now, but you know what? I'm
You
here
mean
for on a
alive?
mission. I'm out of lives.
You're an affront to everything.
But anyway, welcome to the show, guys. We're here for episode 7 Remastered, Shadowchat Remastered, and we are, we actually are for a Remastered. Yeah.
It's a good show.
It's
I like
us,
this
Team
show.
Rocket, Jesse, and James.
Fuck.
got you with that one. I got
titties.
Hey, you got nice red hair. I'm jealous. Yeah. Also, Jesse wears pants in that relationship.
True.
Anyway, Meowth, how are you doing today?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
What was the meow say? What did it say? What was the word?
Well, I could talk, so.
No, yeah, what was the thing he says? The meow?
That's
Talking
right.
about it before.
Oh, Meowth, that's right.
Meow, that's right.
Meowth, that's right.
That's right.
Remember that episode where they talked about Meowth growing up from being like a
Oh yeah, and he
like,
said in
taught
the
himself-
attic.
Yeah, yeah.
He said in the
That
attic.
was so
she
sick.
said, meow meow.
Yeah. It was the best. I was like, wow, this cat taught himself English. Well done. This is a cartoon, right?
And the whole moral was behind that story was you can be anything you want
Yes.
if you just try. Wow.
Yep. See,
That was
Pokemon.
that is
OG Pokemon.
amazing. I'm sorry, Aiden. I look like a ghost, man. I had to turn that light off.
Go outside, get a tan. Shit.
No, I'm turning it off.
Okay.
It's bad. Wait, how do I look on the screen?
It's the same.
Same thing?
This is
Okay,
new.
shit, I'm turning it off. Okay,
Turn that one on? Yeah.
Nope, just
No, that's fine. Oh.
just as bad. Anyway, we'll go with this for now with some natural lighting.
Yeah.
But yes, so here on episode 7, we are going to give away this MSI gaming keyboard. The GK701 mechanical gaming keyboard from MSI Australia. Thank you very much to our sponsors. Also, thank you to PlayTech for letting us use their studio here live in Albany at their store. Now the PlayTech studio, and less of a retail location, more of a content creation location.
Yeah.
And also here, but not this week, the PlayTech Arena, where you can come and play Hado every week, starting next week onwards. I'm resuming next week onwards, every Sunday at 1 to 3 p.m. on Sunday. Bring the kids along. It's a fantastic experience for everybody to come and check it out. And if anything at all, it is the future of sport, I suppose.
Yeah,
It's the
it's
first iteration of
AR.
Yes, AR sports. So because it is the first time for everything, do come check it out. It is free for everyone to come and experience here at the PlayTech Arena and the PlayTech Studio. But if you guys are wondering how you can win this MSI gaming keyboard, all you have to do is follow us on Facebook, right? Which you already are, surely.
Must be.
Yep. And look out for the post coming out later tonight, showcasing how you can win this keyboard. Essentially, it's going to be a basic post to help us grow the channel, help us grow our audience.
Yep.
So sharing the post on your timeline, making sure you've liked and followed the page, and tag a friend. That's it.
Tag him.
Tag a friend. So do those 3 things. We'll give away a keyboard.
Later on today.
No, I think we'll give it a week.
Oh, okay.
The winner will be picked up next week. So you have some time. Next week, I will pick a winner before the show. So I'll pick a winner on Saturday night, and then on Sunday, I will announce the winner.
Cool.
If anything, make sure you are also following MSI Australia and PlayTech. So, having said that, we are moving on into our topic today. So, this episode onwards, we are sort of following up from what we did last week. So, what we did last week, Aiden, was what we, I suppose, went through what made a game great for us, and also
the games that just hit every box for.
Yes, and also what doesn't make a game great, and it's just it was less of a showcase of what we didn't like, but
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to do that.
yeah,
so
but
we'll try and
it
get to
was
today.
more of sort of listing down the things that came out that were featured in games that we just didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
Right. And so for both of us, it's mainly the Souls-like games, poor mechanics, and
Yeah.
bad storytelling and bad depth.
If your game you don't like comes up and it's Arkham Knight, I'm gonna punch you right here and now. I was half expecting that when we're setting stuff up.
No, it's not Arkham Knight. No, it's you leave me out of that one. But no. So essentially, what we're doing today is that we're going over, I suppose, retro games from back in the day that really made it for us.
Yeah.
And so
not too retro. When people talk about retro games, make games from the 80s like Pong and Pac-Man. That's
Final Fantasy 3. No, we're not going that far back.
Not that far.
We are 90s kids, so we're going to go back to the 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s for me. I didn't go that far back.
Yeah, early 2000s. I didn't have a Game Boy Color back then. I can't go back that far.
Man, I had a black and white.
Oh, I didn't have that either.
Oh, wow.
But what we are going to be doing is we are going to be going through some games and also, I suppose, critiquing them. So we've got a couple of things that I think we want to put down into our game critique, our game review, and sort of categories. Right? We discussed this, like categories that by which we you
This
didn't.
is this is my first time.
You were supposed to do it. It was your job. But okay, sure. Well, just things that we're going to do and things that we're going to rate the games on. So stuff like mechanics, stuff like storyline and storytelling, and graphics, I suppose, is one thing. But I don't think graphics we got to worry about these days.
It really depends on the game.
Because if you think about it, these days a lot of games are coming out with sort of like basic budget graphics, but at the same time, because of the art style, it suits the game.
Well, we can cover that as well with the games we're going to talk about, because they're in the past, so graphics obviously weren't a big problem, or at least retrospectively.
Well, I mean, we were all about graphics back then. Back then, it was like, wow,
And it's always going to change.
Yeah, it's always going to change. But I think we're at the point in gaming, right, Joseph? Don't you think like we're past looking at games that are specifically like Crisis level amazing?
Speaking of Crisis Remastered coming out.
Yeah, I'm over it.
You see that?
Yeah, it did. They put it
So
up. And
speaking
they took it
of
down.
the graphics, people didn't like how it looked. So they're like, okay, we're not going to release this just yet. We're going to work on it some more. Yeah.
Oh, well, I suppose they're going for that. I mean, it's Crisis. That has to be always next gen.
If it doesn't melt your PC, is it even Crisis?
No, it's not. That's the thing.
Fair enough.
It has to melt your PC. If it's not like causing you to install a second water cooling system.
No, liquid nitrogen drips as you play.
Button activated.
Yep.
Yeah. So we are going to go through a little bit of game review, but I suppose we should be going through our first segment of the show first, which is always sort of a weekly recap and a little bit of a news section, I suppose, for gaming. And, things that are relevant to us here at the podcast. So for me, particularly, was a new game announcement that came out of the blue for me. Normally, I'm looped in with a lot of things, but this game announcement came out of the blue, and it was a Battle Royale by Ubisoft. And so the game's title is Hyperscape.
I did hear about this, but then I saw nothing, and I even thought it wasn't even out. I thought, like...
It's technically not out. It's only accessible via watching other people play it on Twitch.
Okay, so certain people got given keys.
Yeah, so certain influencers got given keys, and you can also play it by watching these people, watching other people that play it, right?
Oh, okay.
And then getting your drops enabled, and then, so it's a fantastic way to actually generate revenue, generate an audience.
Yes, before it comes out.
Yeah, before it comes out, and also establish yourself as a streamer for the game.
Right. I actually didn't see any gameplay. I'm wondering how it actually plays.
So it actually uses the Rainbow Six Siege engine. So it uses the Siege engine that was originally, and Joseph also knows this, that the Siege engine was originally designed for a space game.
Oh.
Yeah, it was designed for a space horror game.
Okay.
Which is where the original models for I think it's Joseph, help me out here.
Nope.
For some game that came out?
No, the Outbreak series for Rainbow Six Siege.
Ah, okay.
So the Outbreak series for Rainbow Six Siege with all the aliens and all the radioactive monsters that came out.
No aliens, it was zombies and stuff.
It was they're like infected.
Alien zombie.
Alien zombie infected.
They came from space,
So you gotta kill it.
It's closer to Resident Evil, if anything, right? They're not zombies; they're infected zombies.
Yes.
But so it's closer. So originally those models came from that game, and also,
Yep.
well, this is the information that I have at least. So if I'm wrong, sorry, Yubi. You know I love you, Shane. What up, my
Play
man?
all their games.
We play everything. We're probably gonna play this when it comes out as well.
We'll give it a go.
We'll give it a go,
How it
definitely. But essentially, it uses it uses the engine, but it doesn't use the sort of like the intricate destruction mechanics.
Right.
Right. But it's a bit more streamlined because, as you can see, it's very nice. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like we were talking about before, but to me,
Very
it's sorta-
nice game mechanics. The gameplay looks very
It
smooth.
looks like up-to-date guns, if you will. You know, the way you run around, you jump up things, people on rooftops sniping
Yep,
down below.
rooftops, going on rooftops,
Got
using
verticality-
abilities.
Verticality? I can't even say the word.
Mechanically?
No.
Verticality.
There we go.
Verticality, yeah. So it's got a lot of verticality.
Yep.
It's got abilities as well, different sorts of guns and
Squads.
yeah, and different mechanics. Everyone's got. Like, it does look like it's got abilities. I haven't played it yet myself, but everyone that's played it has said they really enjoy it. Along with this game, and of course, along with a lot of the fun that people are having,
Yeah.
a lot of Siege players are saying, if this uses the Siege engine, why the fuck doesn't Siege play this smoothly? First of all,
Yeah.
those people are ungrateful.
Don't talk about my boy.
Don't talk about Siege like that. Y'all don't even understand. Y'all just a bunch of plebs that think you do, but no. The thing is, Siege uses a lot of uses the same engine. Correct. It is Siege's engine, and it was originally that Space Games engine.
Yep.
But the thing is, Siege is forever just always in this sort of turbulent state.
Right.
Where it's always got bugs and it's always got problems that need to be resolved, like its sound bugs, it's got its debris problems, and it's also got I don't know, camera angle problems as well. So the thing about Siege is that by actually making it that intricate and that detailed, it causes these problems because
Yes.
obviously it's their own original engine. It's not like it's made by Unreal, who
Frostbite
or Frostbite who focus on designing engines, right? And yeah, so sure, it has a lot of strengths, but that in itself, because they're trying to do something very different with it, and it will obviously run into some problems.
Yes.
It's just that it just runs into more and more problems. If you look at Hyperscape is far more mechanically simple than Siege, right? With Siege, you can look through flooring. There are, steel railings in between gaps in the floor.
Yep, you shoot
and
through.
the whole idea about shooting through a pixel
I hate it so much.
is a core mechanic in Rainbow Six Siege,
Yeah.
right? But not here. Here it's about the macro dynamics of a city, right? Jumping through
Look at you
the
using
sky.
macro dynamics.
I know the verticality.
Verticality, macro dynamics.
Sorry, Joe. Do I need to slow down for you? Like, do you want me to use like layman terms?
Go up and that way.
shoot, do it. I don't.
Now you're getting a rap song. Something else.
What? Nah. But like as we can see, it does look. It does. It
See,
does
that
have
kind
that.
of stuff never happens to me in multiplayers where I'm shooting someone so close he's not shooting me, he's shooting someone far away. Never happens. I'm never that lucky. I watch these streams and I'm like, how do you get away with that? Like, it doesn't happen to me. Joe and I were playing people on Iron Banner and literally I'm shooting the guy and he's teleporting like this. I was like, are you hacking or lagging? I don't understand, but I'm not killing you because you're shifting like this.
But so yeah, for me that was Hyperscape so far. I've got a lot of players. A lot of the players on our Siege team are playing it and they're enjoying it. Asking me to come and play it, and I'm just like,
Give me code.
I ain't watching someone for a code and I'm playing on ping. So I'm gonna wait for it to come out here onto Oceanic servers.
When is that, by the way, if you know?
I don't know, but they said their release date was like something in July or August or something like that.
Oh, this is July. Okay, so sometime between the end of the
Yeah,
month.
so fairly soon.
Yeah.
This game should be out and we should be able to play it. So excited to see what this game really holds for us. It definitely is one of the better battle royales. Apparently, it's one of the best battle royales out
It
there.
looks kind of exciting, to be honest. Like for battle royale, like you pick up your weapons, run around.
Yeah, so
shoot
it's
people.
less about big open fields like how we have battle royales where you go through grassy patches where it's real open. Here you have the you have the city to take cover behind.
Yeah,
You go through rooms, you go through rooftops, which are probably part of the more open areas.
Some of look a bit crackdowny, but no, it's nice.
Yeah, exactly. But you've got powers, you've got abilities, and you've got giant balls.
Yeah, it turns into a ball.
Hell knows if I like my balls. I mean, like, bounce through the city like that. Call me Kirby.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on, indeed. No, let's go. We'll definitely give it a go.
Yeah. So that was Hyperscape. Very excited to see when it comes out. It's a new game on the block. Were there any other announcements in the last week? Yeah, for new games.
No, besides the Crisis one, which was an announcement in itself, and then they took it back.
That was a few weeks ago, though. Oh, I had a couple of other news things that I wanted to bring up, but I will talk about that later.
Okay.
Maybe why don't you? Was there anything that you wanted to touch on before we moved on?
No, I can't. That's the thing. There hasn't been much.
Let me just bring this up because I saved it under our my saved things.
So prepared.
Oh, so prepared. I know. Life of a CEO. Ben Affleck signs back as Batman.
What? Did you know this?
No.
What?
Yep. Signs contract for HBO Max.
Give me this.
How much did they pay him?
They pay him in batarangs. Give me this.
Pay him in
Give me
batarangs.
this. Well, good. Oh, rumor from 4chan. Really?
No. No, but it was shared by a trustworthy source, and the guy is always in the loop.
Okay. I'll wait till there's an actual announcement then.
Yeah, well, that's fair. But at the same time, I'm actually very excited.
I like Ben Affleck's Batman. What did you think, Joe? As a
don't mind
Batman
it.
connoisseur.
I thought it was better than Val Kilmer's.
Hey, they had Jim Carrey as the Riddler, and that's perfect, all right?
Oh, God. All right, so having said that, the reason why we're calling this episode 7 remastered is because there are a lot of remastered titles coming back into the fray. So we've recently seen Spyro remastered. We've
Crash,
seen
Spyro, Final Fantasy,
Tony Hawk
1 and 2, the Pro Skeets. What else is getting remastered? Well, the Crisis one was just announced.
Yes.
Crisis remaster. You've got Destroy All Humans. That's coming out
Yes,
soon. Which
correct.
I really like that game, so I'll probably play the remaster of that.
Yeah.
What else is there? I think there was something else.
There were a lot of Final Fantasy remasters as well.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy remasters. 12 got a remaster. 7 got remade. Not a remaster, it's about remake.
Yeah, it's a remade, and they added stuff to it as
They
well.
remastered 8. Yeah.
Yep, they remastered all the ones before 6.
Oh, did they?
Yep,
Oh,
it's more chibi-like, but they remade, they remastered it.
Square Enix is just going in with the remasters. So they did Trials of Mana as well.
Yes, Trials of Mana. Yes, that's correct. So the list goes on.
Yeah.
The list goes on. It goes on for almost forever. And these remastered games are there because people like us love nostalgia.
Yes.
To a better time where life wasn't 2020 Corona.
Yeah, it wasn't stressful.
It wasn't painful either. Where I could literally walk in the gym, get a couple of clients a day, and just buy shoes every week without caring.
You had a lot of shoes.
I have a lot of shoes.
Oh, you brought them all. You got all your shoes back.
Yeah, I got the ones from Malaysia back as well. So life's different, and we've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
Gaming is an escapism,
Yes.
right? And it's a healthy escapism as long as it's managed, just like every other thing in the world.
Yes.
Every other thing you can do, right? So obviously, we here at Shadownet promote
Healthy lifestyles.
well-being, and obviously, making sure you stay active and flexible and fit, and so you're not in daily constant pain because you sat down for 7 hours a day, and then you have back pain.
Yeah.
Right at the age of 23. But having said that, these remastered games are a nostalgia trip that everyone's willing to buy back into. Right?
They are.
Being able to experience your favorite storylines, your favorite characters, and your favorite mechanics, but
All over again. In
better
HD.
graphics that are more palatable for us now because I suppose we've been spoiled,
Yeah.
or we've just grown with the times, and what we expect to be baseline standard graphics now are sort of out of reach for all these older titles, right? So there are some games that are timeless and I suppose age very well, but there are some games that don't age very well,
No.
right? Having said that, One of the games that has aged very well would be probably Spyro, right? Because if you look at it, the mechanics of Spyro Remastered are very pretty much exactly the same. Crash as well, and the graphics aren't that much different because it's smoothened out, it's rounder, it's shinier.
Yeah.
But it's essentially the same feel. You look at it and like, wow, this really is Crash. You know, having said that, that is a fantastic game that has aged very well.
Yeah, I tried to play it recently. And I couldn't. Like, it's too hard. That honestly, I was like, how did I play this as a kid and complete all 3 games? Because I was doing the first one, I'm like, no, can't be bothered. So I skipped to the next one. I'm like, okay, this is going well. Then I got to this one level where you have to literally stand on the edge of a platform to make it to the next one. Like, you have to time the jump well. I just keep plugging up every time.
This is
like,
why kids are
I don't have
scouted
time
at a
for
young
this.
age for esport titles because they're just better.
Yeah.
But I mean, with that in mind, remaster titles are quite popular these days.
Yes.
Right? And so today we're going to go back and we're going to review some older titles.
Yep.
But before we continue, I should probably have used this as a segue into it. I messed up the timing. Sorry, guys.
Sorry to Joe. He's like waiting there. He's like, is it happening?
I'm like, what's going on?
Nope, he
This is
forgot.
off.
Right, go to the next one.
Yep, it's all off. Another game that's coming out really soon that was announced quite a while ago is Ghost of Tsushima. Yep. So Ghost of Tsushima is.
If we're gonna talk about the graphics of games now, this looks pretty damn good. Like before this was Horizon Zero Dawn as being like a really beautiful game. This look and a PlayStation exclusive again.
Yes.
But actually it's coming to PC soon.
Yes. Yes.
Horizon,
It is.
but yeah, look at the. Well, this is a cutscene, but still.
Yes.
Not actual gameplay.
Not actual gameplay, but
The actual
for-
gameplay does look sweet if we manage to get a clip of that. You know, the one where he's in the full suit of armor, he
Yeah.
walks up to that bandit camp or that Mongolian camp and he's
Yeah.
like, challenge me.
yeah. So you know what? When it does come out, I think what we need to do is we need to get an ninjutsu black belt in this room, or recorded, and ask him for his impressions of the gameplay.
Oh yeah.
You know, let's see the accuracy behind this behind the ninjutsu or the samurai techniques. You know, like the real deep dive.
The real deal. Actually, I saw some things. I'm like, how does a character like watch this video? He just slices them across the chest and they just die. I'm like,
No, it would probably gone around their neck.
must have got
because
jugular
I
stuff.
mean, it would have looked like a chest slice, but it would have probably gone across their jugular.
Yeah.
Right. Having said that, Ghost of Tsushima is a game about an individual, a young boy that grows up raised as a samurai. Right. If you watch the other cinematic trailer, or the gameplay trailer, or whatever you want to call it. Essentially, you see him grow up as a samurai, go into war, and then he goes through some turbulence in his life, some turmoil. And when he goes through this, and people start calling him other things besides samurai. They say he's no longer a samurai, because he didn't die with honor.
Right.
So because he doesn't die with honor, he comes back and he's this.
A ghost.
Yeah, a vengeful spirit, a ghost. He gets called this by the Mongolians. He gets called this by other Japanese that are seeing him fight, and they're like, "Wait, I've never seen anyone fight like that. You're not samurai," Yep. And it's within that scope that this game makes this transition because, like in China, Japanese history, the whole samurai thing is that, as you can see, he fights with a lot of etiquette.
Yes.
He fights with a lot of poise, and there's a whole principle and honor thing behind looking the opponent in the eye as you kill him, kind of thing.
Yep.
Right. Whereas he starts fighting differently, and he starts stabbing them in the back. He starts using different weapons.
Yep.
And he starts using tricks.
Yes.
Right. All these were what made ninja.
Yes.
Right, because the ninja would.
They play dirty.
Yeah, they played dirty because they needed to survive.
Yep.
Most likely, most ninja weren't actually very high up in that whole hierarchy.
Yep.
Right, they were actually originally farmers or plebs or just like serfs. Serfs.
I was going to say, did you say Serbs?
No, serfs.
They were
My nose.
Serbians.
These peasants.
God, no, serfs. So peasants.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. And so because they were peasants, they would use things like pitchforks, sickles, and all that, and chains and all that kind of stuff. So, which is why you see the famous ninja weapons are like sort of kunai with chain or
Kunai with chain. What's
Yeah.
it? Scorpion. Yeah.
yeah, and you know all those karma and tricky stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And they would use these weapons as opposed, and you would catch these samurai off guard because the samurai would be like, "What the hell is happening?" You know, like they were so rigid. And I suppose it is very common in Japanese culture today as well, where they're very structured.
Yeah.
Right. And they're very structured in their honor system and
Yes,
their sort
yes.
of their privilege, and you know, like the salaryman of today
Yep.
are the samurai of the modern day Japan.
Yeah.
Right. I've done a lot of research into this.
Yeah. See, you actually been doing some research. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Well, I've done a lot of business with Japanese salaryman,
Oh, right.
or I've been in a lot of Japanese salaryman meetings.
Right.
And so because now he fights without honor, we're using
Yeah.
tricks because he's no longer focused on being an honorable individual.
Yeah.
He wants vengeance.
Yes.
He wants to be avenged. He wants to bring justice to his family, to his
Yep.
friends,
Yep.
the people that he wants to honor.
Yes.
And so because he's doing this, he has to find dirtier ways. But you do have choices in this game. You do
Yep.
have the option to play as a samurai and to keep their honor, or to play as a ghost, a ninja, right?
We all know which way we're going. That's pretty good.
You're only playing this game one way.
One way.
You're only playing this game one way, and it's not samurai. Having said that, this game is sort of it made me reminiscent, which
yeah?
is the real segue here for me to bring back into our topic for this week, which is rating the retro games and sort of like learning to sort of experimenting with a rating system for us.
Yeah.
Right, as we move into grading and reviewing more things, because
Yep.
that seems to
Yep,
be
yep, yep, yep.
the sort of angle that we're going for here with the Shadowchat podcast, giving our opinions on what we think about movies, games, TV shows, products.
Yeah.
Right? And so I suppose this game sort of reminded me of an older title, which was probably one of the few ninja titles out on any platform
Yeah.
that really gave me a ninja experience.
Yeah.
And that title was Tenchu Z.
Didn't you? Ah, yes.
Yes.
I
So
remember.
Tenchu Z. Here we go. This game fucked me up so bad because I could never finish it.
Oh, you
it was
didn't
so
finish it?
No, it was so mechanically challenging.
It
for
was.
someone as young as I was when I was like 13, 15, trying to figure this game out was almost impossible. Because you had to prepare, you had to prep, you had to like look at all the mechanics to see how they weighed up. And as you can see, there's a little bit of Japanese ninja fantasy going on here.
Yep.
But look how advanced that looked for its time.
It was. Actually, I remember the ones before Z, like the normal Tenchu.
Yeah.
Where there wasn't anything that moved that fast.
Yeah.
Even like assassinating someone took time. And if someone's route, like the other NPC, could end up seeing you as you do it, so you have to really
Yes.
time that. And then you had to hide the body, or else they would come and find it, and then everyone would be alerted.
Yeah. So Tenchu Z had a fantastic balance of stealth and action, ninja fantasy, and I wouldn't say any realism, but definitely ninja fantasy and customization, because you could actually customize where your ninja looked.
Yep.
And you could also choose the kind of weapons he used, and you would prepare all the traps, all the gadgets, and there were set things that you could do. You know, you get contracts, and you can go you have to assassinate someone,
Yep.
or steal something, right? So you would go assassinate, let's say, like a samurai general. He's being escorted by all his samurais as well, and so he has a set route, and you have to assassinate him before he reaches his destination.
Yep.
During that time, you have to go traverse the map, not set off alarms, set your traps, analyze like where people are moving, and you have to spring it up, and you have to do everything. There was a female character in the game as well, not just this character here, and some of the original characters from the first and second Tenchu were also in the game as well. So I feel like the ninja fantasy was sort of left off around the end of Tenchu Z. After this, the only other ninja thing that really hit for me was maybe Ninja the movie
Oh,
by
yes.
Scott Adkins.
Yes, and there's Ninja Assassin.
And
with,
Ninja 2 with Scott Adkins. And Ninja Assassin with Rain.
That was such a good one. That was like completely like
Super
spectacularly
fantasy.
in fantasy, but
Super
such a good
Ninja
movie.
fantasy. But this to me was the last great ninja game. The last great ninja game. Before our recent reiteration of Sekiro, which is not really a ninja game.
No, I mean he is technically speaking.
He is a ninja, but it's more Souls-like and it's more open and fantasies hack and slash.
He just happens to be.
He just happens to be a
samurai
ninja.
person in a Souls-like type of setting.
Yeah. So, Ghost of Tsushima is, to me, a remaster or a remake
Yep.
of Tenchu-Z, which is obviously not the case because it's not from software. It's not Tenchu at all.
So who made Tenchu?
From software.
It was from software.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So From Software meant Tenchu, but because From
yeah,
Software
From
meant
Software,
Sekiro, it technically is Tenchu. Right?
Right.
But at the same time, it's not. Right? So
Not in spirit or anything.
no, not in spirit at all. But Ghost of Tsushima definitely is the game for me that is going to bring back
All those feelings.
all those nostalgic feelings, right? Of the classic ninja fantasy, right? Now with very deep driven story,
Yep.
right? Especially for someone with like me and maybe even you that's practiced ninjutsu as a martial art, been into the whole ninja fantasy my entire life,
Yeah, same.
right? I mean, I have the words ninjutsu tattooed on my
You
my
did.
forearm.
And I mentioned last time how the thing that got me into all of this was fucking Ninja Turtles.
Yes, yeah,
great
with
stuff.
the pizzas.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and so fantasies of the whole ninja history
Yeah.
coming back and actually going forward with Ghost of Tsushima. Excited,
Yeah.
over I'm over the moon. I actually wanted to get the collector's edition.
How many times did I tell you, ask you, did you get it yet? Did you pre-order this? Look at what you're not getting anymore yet. Look, you wasted so much time.
I really wanted that mask. If
I
anyone,
know you wanted it. Right?
if anyone has access to that mask, I will buy the mask for the same price.
Don't be
as
dumb. Don't say things you can't take back.
I will buy a. Okay, I'll
I'm sure
buy
you
the
can
mask.
find them online somewhere.
I will buy that.
It just won't be as.
I don't know. I don't want to buy a secondhand one that's like worn and like licked by like some fucking pervert.
You the pervert.
I just want to wear the cool ninja mask in my photo shoots.
Oh,
Okay?
now look at you.
It looks
Marvelous.
dope. It is sick.
It does look cool. I did actually try looking online. Nothing actually looks quite like that. It's like
It doesn't.
obsidian looking. It's got the teeth. It's look
Yeah,
clean.
so it's an Oni mask.
Yeah.
It is the Oni mask. It is, he's a good. Oh man, it's just the fact that it comes with the wrapping cloth as well. It's crazy. I'm keen to buy it from like online if there's any left. I'm probably gonna search up later.
Oh, put your name down in all the stores to see if anyone pulls out.
Yeah, hopefully.
JB, EB, Mighty Ape, all of them.
Yeah, hopefully someone loses their job soon, so they can't afford it anymore. But I really need this. I will like, hey, look, man. There's only one way to climb the ladder of chaos. Okay, you step on someone
the back
else.
of other people.
Yeah, on the back of other people. You step on someone else to succeed.
Other
Okay.
people's misfortune.
Much like the game, you're leaving your honor behind. Don't even need it anymore. It's real life now. But no, you're right. For all those reasons, I'm also keen for Ghost of Tsushima. Like when they announced it, I'm like, that's me. That's us.
Yeah,
Done.
that is, and it's going to be one of the few games that I will do everything in.
Yeah, like in other games that have katanas, I always go for the katana as a weapon choice. There's
And
things like that.
based on a lot of the videos, it is semi-open world.
Yes. You did have him exploring.
Yeah, they had
to find direction. There was that wind thing they did, like
Yeah.
to follow the breeze and the lead. That looks cool.
Yes. So it is semi-open world as well, and but it doesn't look too open world because the camera is much closer to the character. It has a very cinematic feel as you drive through. It does look like it could be actually 30 FPS. I'm not sure.
It looks like a game that doesn't require anything faster. I mean,
No,
look
it
at the
doesn't.
way the characters move.
It
and what's
definitely
happening.
isn't a game that requires anything faster than 30. I would prefer it to be like 45 FPS. Like
You can probably on the Pro hit it at 60 at 1080. But if you go 4K, I doubt. Nah, you're definitely looking at 25 to 30. Until the PS5 comes out, sorry, and then you might be better off. But
They did say that they would upgrade you.
they haven't announced that for this game yet.
They haven't?
No, specifically this game is not.
Which game said they would upgrade for free?
Cyberpunk.
NBA games, Cyberpunk said they would.
Oh, Cyberpunk, that's right.
A few others.
That's right, Cyberpunk said they would
But
upgrade
not
for free.
not them. They haven't said.
Maybe Last of Us?
No, they didn't say that either yet. PlayStation have said nothing when it comes to the.
No, it's
games
all
yet.
the actual developers.
Mm.
PlayStation aren't giving you anything out of it.
Mm.
Just like, you know what?
That's right. I'm almost tempted to wait to play Ghost of Tsushima still PlayStation, but that could be November. Well, I guess November's not that far away, but
I mean,
I just I want it in its best quality when I do it, and I don't.
Considering
want to do it again.
that we're still very deeply into the Destiny grind, I don't think rushing is a problem. Like waiting is a problem.
But we got till September with the current season. That's when that big content drop.
Yeah, let's just wait, because if Rona 2 hits us and we have to go back into lockdown and do this podcast from home,
Ew.
then
And Joe's gonna have a PS4.
you mean PS5?
Can't even go get the PS5.
We're all getting PS5s, I think, at that point.
Definitely.
I'm just hoping that they release the secret multiplayer for Ghost of Tsushima.
How would that work? It wouldn't work that well.
No, I mean,
The whole point is it's a singular story. Like even Destiny 2 is technically a singular story.
Yeah, you never know.
Mhm.
Anyway, so how do we want to rate these games?
That is
we're-
the hard thing because you have to, for whatever categories we have to have something that is a 10 in that category.
Yes.
And then you compare them, and that's how you do your rating. I think that's the best way to do a rating.
Yeah.
Like, an arbitrary 9 out of 10 for an entire game or something doesn't work to me.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
When I look at reviews of games, I look at multiple different reviews and I hear what they're saying about particular sections. That's why I don't want to play Final Fantasy VII Remake, because there are specific things that I've seen in some reviewers that take away from the experience of Final Fantasy VII, the original one. Firstly, it's not the full game. But secondly, they've turned it into a bit of a Yakuza game, which I didn't like as I played them, where everything was really slow. There's these random nonsense quests, and there's this character development that has no business being there because, spoiler alert, the character dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of put me off, even though I was keen to go into it, because I like the Final Fantasy games, and I like the art direction they've taken and so on. But certain things have put me off going into the game.
Okay. Well, I suppose in regards to Final Fantasy VII specifically, and I'll just touch on this very, very lightly, any character development around Aerith before she dies, I think is necessary in order for people to feel like they still cared about Aerith after so many years, right? Final Fantasy VII itself, having extra quests and stuff, I suppose they need to fill the void.
That's
Whether or not
content, they didn't need to fill any void. There was no void to begin with.
Okay, well, fair, but at the same
They
time,
made a void.
But at the same time, I completely agree that Final Fantasy VII, not being the full game, has kind of put me off and like made me kind of just want to wait for a complete edition.
Wait for episode 7 when it's complete.
Or how many discs did it have
I think
originally?
they all had about 6 discs at the time.
6
7,
discs?
8, and 9. Yeah, there's quite a few discs.
There were a lot of discs.
Oh, okay. Fine. I knew there were a lot of discs. I thought it was like 4, but if there was 6,
Nah, that's like 6.
we are definitely waiting.
And not even that. Final Fantasy VII Disc 1 had more content than current Final Fantasy VII.
Right.
Just that. So there could be 12 discs now. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, they have the engine. They have the assets.
I think after the criticism of this one, they may not do that again. They may put actual more content in the next one. It's just a theory I'm having.
Let's hope so, but we can't guarantee that yet again. So, having said that, I am actually interested to see, to flesh this out. Okay. So, I think for starters, let's just come up with 3 categories that we would rate games on.
All right.
Right.
So we say, off the top of my head, story, mechanics, graphics. How does that work?
I think we were touching on before. I don't think graphics are necessary.
Presentation?
Okay,
Define
define presentation. Yeah, define
Sound, art style.
Okay, yeah, fleshed the idea of graphics. A good idea.
Oh yes. So like how Transistor was a beautiful game. Like it was simple. The graphics were simple, but
Yes.
the way they portrayed it and the way
Yes.
the art and the music sort of
Yes.
like interlace with each other.
Yep,
Presentation was, I would say, maybe
You win.
9 out of 10. See, so good when he speaks.
Look at when he speaks. Every other time.
Any other time, yes. Any other, yes. Meow, that's right. So, okay, yeah. Presentation's a great one. So
Lock it in.
yeah, so let's put that down, right? So we've got so we've got storytelling.
I think story is a good one to have.
Yeah, storytelling, because you can have a great
not
story.
necessarily the story itself, but how they tell the story.
Because, for example, Destiny
Narrative?
has a great story.
What did you say, sir?
Narrative. Huh?
The narrative of it?
Yeah, the narrative.
Yeah, the narrative.
Yeah, but because
Get out of here, Joe.
you know what?
First, he couldn't even say verticality. You know, it was like presentation.
Just assault with me. Come, get over here. Get over here. Why aren't you in here, man? Okay, look. Okay, so I think a good one is story. You want to go storytelling or narrative? What's the difference?
Narrative is better.
What's the difference?
It sounds better. Narrative is how you tell the story, which is it's narrative.
Okay, same thing. So narrative.
Right.
All right.
He's
So
2 for
because,
2 right now. If he
because
gets
for
the third
example,
one, I'm out.
I think Destiny 2 has a great story if you look through the lore. But the narrative,
Dense
the fact that you have to go through so much and there isn't much other than the actual activities and the actual things you do.
True.
And then
I don't even pay attention. Like lore things pop up. I'm like,
the
cool.
cutscenes are too
Yeah, you
short.
guys keep talking for every cutscene I'm going through.
We like to narrate our own cutscenes.
Trying to listen to it.
Give them accents.
Like when playing Shadowkeep and the dark version of you showed up. I don't actually know why it showed up. I don't remember.
Yeah, you talk through the whole thing.
We were just talking. And it was just making JoJo references.
Dark Kermit. Do it, you won't. But yeah,
Play
so
it again, Joe.
narrative and then mechanics. So mechanics is something we talked about a while ago.
Yep.
And that's sort of, I suppose, interface mechanics in the sense that how you play the game, right? How you play the game, sort of like how
The flow, how the
in
game
Titanfall
flows.
you can
Yes,
bring
yes,
the,
yes.
the Titan down.
Mechanics is a big topic.
Yeah.
It's big.
So I suppose the flow of the game, the gameplay, flow of the gameplay mechanics, right? As well as the sort of the more intricate mechanics of how those things work.
Yes.
Right. So sort of like how Souls-like stuff is very floaty and sort of.
But at the same time, quite rigid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Floaty and rigid, so it's like they fly around the place, and it's sort of there's not enough flexibility, right?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like we'll talk about it in a bit, but in a Souls-like game, you can jump around or dodge it. But then when you want to change your weapon or get something else, they're like, and you got hit before it happens. And
Yeah.
it's like, fuck hell.
Yeah. Whereas in Destiny, mechanically, it's one of the
Yeah.
better games out
In
there.
fact, sometimes it's too fast. Bloody multiplayer. I'm like, you're hacking, man. There's no way you switch guns that quickly. You hit me with a melee and then shot me. How? What? Or
Yeah.
like a grenade launcher and then pulled out a gun so fast. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Something's
So, and I suppose the general overall feel for it mechanically is also very concrete and very streamlined and enjoyable.
So the first step, I think, is to find in our categories 10 out of 10s. Like, don't have to be in each category, but for that particular category, this
Yes.
game is a 10. For that category, this game is a 10.
Okay, agreeable. I can agree with that. So, and then obviously then we have presentation.
And then presentation.
Yeah. So, because I suppose storytelling narrative, maybe Last of Us 1.
Oh, you mean as your top?
Yeah, 10 out of 10. The Last of Us 1. I haven't played Last of Us 2, so I can't tell you. There are a lot of mixed reviews out there.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, but The Last of Us 1 being 10 out of 10 story narrative.
Oscar bait for games.
Yeah,
It was definitely
exactly.
the original.
I think is a good benchmark. Mechanically, I'm not sure what game you want to pick for a 10 out of 10 mechanical game.
Hard to say, but probably Destiny 2. It's a game based off its mechanics. Like, the only way it works is because of its mechanics.
Agreed. Joseph, what do you think?
It's a game about using this ability here to do this, or this damage here to do that, so you can shoot
Well,
this
well,
thing
I
and pick
mean-
up that thing and run this way.
Well, I tell you
It
what,
works
mechanically, it's
only
not going to be
because-
Rainbow Six. As much as I love Rainbow
But
Six, it's not going to be.
It has a very deep mechanic that works, right?
Yes.
Joe's reviews.
God.
Yes.
Can we start a curator page for Joseph?
Just says yes. It's gonna be real short.
Joe from Shadowchat. Yes. No.
So let's go back to Tenchu then. Where would
Yeah.
you place that in the 3 categories?
Narrative.
What was the narrative of Tenchu? I don't even remember. You just
I'm giving it a 2 out of 10.
That's how bad it was. He can't even remember.
Yeah, okay, so definitely.
It's so bad I can't remember. I just remember you just
is it even a 2, or is it the fact that he's a ninja so you assume some things?
No, it's just that it was so mission based with minimal story. It was just about being able to be a ninja and being able to customize your ninja. It wasn't really about a story, whereas the original Tenchu's 1 and 2 were more story based.
Right.
So Tenchu Z was not really that story based.
Right.
Yeah, so it was more of a like consistent skirmishes. So I didn't really vibe with the story.
Yep.
I just enjoyed the gameplay.
Right.
Right. So mechanically back then as well, I found some mechanics frustrating.
Yep.
You said you didn't even finish it because of
You
it.
didn't even finish it. Yeah.
Yep.
fair enough.
So I would say that's a 5.
Okay.
Right.
Same time frame, same sort of idea, but for story is my game, Jade Empire.
Okay.
Do you remember the story of this game?
No.
All right, so you don't wake up, but you're a character in a village which suddenly gets attacked by pirates.
Right.
And then they take your master away. Like they capture him and they take
What?
him far away across the world. And you have to,
Master Uguay?
pretty much, because it's a martial arts village. So you play one of 4 to 5 characters.
So you the Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah, man, hard Kung Fu Panda. And this is how it looked. And this is a gameplay clip for it. If you just to refresh your memory.
Yes.
It was not the most beautiful game. This is a BioWare game as well.
Yeah. Well, hey, BioWare, we all know, great developers.
Yeah. So
One of Joseph's
it's
favorite
kind of
developers.
like an Avatar Last Airbender situation. You have all these martial styles, and you're just some super-powered martial artist who just beats up everyone. You have fire, ice, lightnings, all these abilities, weapons as well. I think he's going to pull out a sword in a minute.
I think you're the one that finished this game.
I played this game with every character. There's 4 or 5 characters. I did it with all of them. I like this game that much.
Yeah, I remember.
This was on the original Xbox I did.
So I remember you playing this game, and I came over to sort of experience and play it with you.
Look at the martial style. It's beautiful. And much like Tenchu for you, I always liked the martial arts. I watched Bruce Lee movies when I was younger and all those other things. And this game was oh, sweet. And it's a very mythical China, that you see in cartoons and the kind of Chinese movies that come out these days with CG. That's what it looked like. There's this one level where you walk into a cave and there's a dragon on a wall.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember? There's this
No,
water
I don't
dragon.
remember any of this.
And water is flowing out of it because it's its blood. But because it's a mythical creature, the water does not stop flowing. It's still technically alive, pinned against this wall. It's actually got a wonderful story because what you find out is your master actually set all of this up. The whole point was he got fake captured so you could grow as a martial artist, get to the end, and he would defeat you.
Why?
I'm trying to remember the exact reason, but he found you as a child. Okay. So he raised you in a martial arts, but with one weakness. So he knew that weakness. I can't even remember the. I think he gets
manipulative shit.
Yeah, I think he gets your powers or something. He becomes stronger when he defeats you, like some Highlander stuff. But that's the whole story is you going on this journey, finding these people and these spirits and learning all these martial styles and getting really strong, for him to beat you really quickly, and steal all the power you've obtained through that time. But it is a wonderful story. It's actually really, really good. But yeah, graphics-wise, you wouldn't put it up there. But at the time, that was a really beautiful game.
True. Mm-hmm. True. Okay, I can see that.
Mechanically, it flows.
And storyline as well was quite great, yeah?
Yeah. So for me, top tier at the time, storyline, this was pretty good.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
And yeah, it covers other bases as well. Then the other problem with making a review, though, is we can't have any biases when it comes to things. We're going to rate something like this much higher than we would, Crash Team Racing. You know what I mean?
I suppose for
we
us,
like that stuff too much.
I mean, different people should do different reviews. You know, I suppose people that are more into esport competitive titles like me
Yes.
I would do an esport title.
Yeah, like I would have rated Rainbow Six poorly, but you obviously wouldn't. You know?
Yeah. So I mean, but then again, I suppose we should actually have more than one person review it in the same review, and it shouldn't be written review. It should be a video review. It should be a video review, and maybe just different scorings, right? We'll have someone put together a summary of what everyone said.
Yeah.
And we'll just have Land said this, Flaming Dragon said this, Blaze Strike said this. Right?
Yeah, I think it's quite well.
That way, because the thing is, the three of us have been playing games together for 17 years.
Yeah.
Crazy amount of time, right? So the fact that, but during this time, we've all had our own personal tastes in games, right? So while we generally enjoy the big titles, right, that everyone else does enjoy as well.
Yes.
I feel like there are some titles and some games that we play that the other doesn't, right? So Joseph plays a lot of indie games as well, right, Joe?
I think I play more indie games than Joe does. What indie
I
games?
think he does.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Joseph does play some games that we don't.
Actually, what game did you? You had something you wanted to mention. Speaking of games Joe plays.
Oh, we're going to buy one?
Yeah, since he mentioned it, we think
Because the thing is, you know, he said like, last week we're gonna get to talk about my game, and
we're
me and Joseph like, wait, you wanted to talk about something?
Oh,
When does this happen?
We're gonna get
Tell
some
me to
deep
get
language
something.
now, and he's talking about his game is gonna be.
Okay,
narrative.
guys, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You're gonna hear Joseph Cooper speak more than one word, and it's gonna be not yes.
You're gonna hype it up. He's gonna say 2 words.
Yeah, it's not
Very
gonna be
nice.
very long.
It's
very nice.
All right.
All right, what do you got? What do you got?
So my game is Command & Conquer Generals.
Oh,
Ian knows this.
I know this.
Ian knows this.
I know this. I know this.
I know this thing.
This takes me back.
Yeah.
When was it? When did this come out? When you say back,
Oh,
is this like Windows 98?
I'm thinking more of Iraq War era.
Okay.
Yeah, Bush was still.
That's 2000.
Was still the.
Yeah, very topical this game as well.
Yeesh. All right, so you got a clip or anything? What do you got? Just
I only got pictures.
Okay. So tell us.
So yeah, it's
Regale.
it was a great strategy game.
Yeah.
3 different factions, 3 different
Got
stories.
more than one picture. Oh, he's prepared a slideshow.
That is Windows 98 looking stuff.
Bro, this is the first game that I was like, because you played video games before, like you had a computer
Yeah.
somehow,
Yeah,
played some
somehow.
computer
Yep,
games.
yep, yep.
This was the first time that I actually realized you need better graphic card for your computer. Because if not, things look shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because games back then, they all had one setting.
Yes.
This had 3 settings.
Oh no. Ahead of its time.
So I was on low, and I was like, I need to make this look better. So I got a graphics card, and it blew me away.
Oh,
and
and then never looked back
introduction
ever
to PC
since.
gaming.
And then they added shadows, and Joseph was like,
Holy shit.
they have shadows.
So good. So good.
Okay. Wow, I'm actually really. You actually caught me off guard. I didn't expect to see this because the thing is,
RTS game.
when Joseph played Command & Conquer Generals, he also hoaxed me. He's like, "Hey Ian, go get this game."
Yeah.
Like, why? It's like we'll play together. We'll play together. And so
My
I
internet
convinced my
shit.
grandpa. I convinced my grandpa to get me this game.
Oh, you would.
Right? And so we played this, and he would kick my ass systematically. It was one of the first games where Joseph wasn't actually being cheap. He was actually playing strategically, and it was really surprising because you could get like oil rigs to get more money,
Right.
right?
Why are you telling me about his game?
No, it's our memories, so that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he would actually, like systematically go capture oil rigs while sort of like attacking me to distract me, and because
Sounding
I
very
wasn't-
realistic. Telling me about taking oil rigs and attacking for distraction. Like, hold up.
Yeah, see, Iraq War.
Yeah. Their whole military strategy is based on this game.
No, Joseph based his whole military strategy in this game based on America.
Yeah, get a lot of planes, bomb them into oblivion.
Yeah,
And while they try to repair,
Get in the helicopter and just rain down from above. Joe, this is an RPG, not anymore.
so this is a real-time strategy was actually really big because
Yep.
it was essentially Command & Conquer Red Alert 2, but modern day, not sci-fi, and it was a little sci-fi, but it was also quite I suppose, realistic.
It was more grounded because you had factions like America, you had factions like China,
Right.
which Ian loved, and then you actually had a terrorist faction that acted like a terrorist organization, but not terrorist-y. They were like, we're the global liberation army, so everything big and bad about these people, come join us, we'll make ourselves better.
Right.
But they still use suicide bombers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
You couldn't make this game today. Let's be fair.
But this was one of the this was I think one of the first few games that started using unique heroes
Okay.
because it was Command and Conquer generals.
Right.
So each country would have different generals, right? And so you would play like the Chinese army, but you would use a different general for each different perk.
Okay.
So the chick, so like one of the generals in the Chinese army had like really good tanks, right? One of the Chinese army like got a lot of military soldiers. So
hackers, and every one troop you recruit is like 2 or 3 instead.
okay.
You know.
yeah. So instead of getting one soldier, you like China conscription, like army conscription, you know, just like, hey, you're 18.
Overwhelming with numbers, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah. So then you would just swarm them and you would like rush them with infantry.
Oh yeah.
Right, and so Americans would have big tanks. They would have
All the high-tech gadgetry and weaponry, but there will be limited in numbers.
Right.
and they would be more expensive.
And then
But they could
Africans just
But
throwing
if you, but
spears.
you said it, not me. The black guy said it, not me.
This is true though.
Yeah. Oh well, I don't think that was Africa. I think it was like America, the Middle East, China.
Yeah, like I said, it was
Russia.
topical for its time. Not even Russia. Russia was.
No.
Okay.
Too close to the Cold War. But that is a fantastic game. Okay, so how would you rate this game, Joseph?
I guess Joe's always was this like your first RTS? Because you play all the RTS.
No, he played the other Command and Conquer.
I did play the other one, but this was by far the one that really changed it.
Because yeah, you love RTS games.
Yeah. So
And this is where it started from.
Yeah.
So if Joseph had to rate this game, how would you rate this game, Joseph? Narrative wise.
Narrative wise, there is a bit of narrative, but you know, as strategy games go, they aren't very that in depth and complex. So probably like 4 or 3.
Oh, that's pretty
Oh.
low. That's real low.
It's basically, here's a place, go shoot up some people, capture this base.
Oh, but you know what I really like about the Command and Conquer games back then? They used actual cinematics.
Oh yeah, that was for like Red Alert and
they're
stuff
like real
that.
life people.
Yeah,
recorded.
If
Yes,
this had
sorry.
cinematics like that one, it would be higher up. But
Oh,
this
right.
is one of the ones.
I
that
Yeah,
didn't-
Red Alert. I mean, remember if you guys remember Red Alert,
Yeah, yeah,
Tanya.
No, I don't remember the
So
characters.
the
I remember
American,
how
the
it
American Tanya, essentially the Tomb Raider.
looked. Oh, right.
She would come in like a tank top, like robe, like there's this like hot like. What's that show? Baywatch. This hot Baywatch kind of chick with like a ponytail.
Okay.
And she would come in with like a tank top, like a singlet.
Was it Pamela Anderson? Is this?
No, I don't know, but no, it looked.
Let's
She
hype
looked
it.
like Lara Croft, and then she would come in and she had like short. No, Tanya had short hair. So Tanya had short hair. So she short hair, busty tank top, like
Tigger's
nice, like big boob, small butt, like 90s beauty. You know, 90s hot Spice Girl kind of look. Like 2 pistols, like 2 deagles.
Tomb Raider hard. Yeah.
Yeah, Tomb Raider, 2 deagles, and she'd
Full
be
Tomb
like,
Raider.
she'd be calling the shots. You know, like, send me in, Commander. We're gonna do this, blah blah blah. And like, you know, and then they had like all the characters, and then they had like some, and then the Tiberian ones, they had Kane and Tiberian Wars.
Oh, they even had what's Lando's name? What's the guy who played Lando?
Oh yes.
Had him in it too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What his name? Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, he was in it as well, and so they had actual storylines, and so
Guy
I feel
from
like
Lost was in it, I think.
Red Alert.
Oh, right.
Red Alert 2 was like up there with narrative because you like even though the story wasn't so deep,
Yep.
like the way they presented it was just like damn. And then they had like little, you know, like at the bottom left there with the mini mappers,
Yes.
they would have like some
Videos.
kind of static video, and they would play like a video of the
Yep.
character talking to you, like Commander, we need help here, blah blah blah. Something's happening, and like a scenario would happen. That really draws
those
you
were
in.
cool. Those were cool.
Yeah, they still do that with like StarCraft 2. They still did that. Warcraft 3 Reforged. You know, like
I mean, I've always tried to get into RTS type games, but there's something about the bigger picture strategy that just doesn't seem to sink into my brain, and I mess up somehow.
okay.
You know, it's hard to
No,
describe.
I
but
get you. I get
yeah,
you. Yeah, because you started
I'm
off
too
a bit
focused.
wrong.
Yeah, maybe I started
Later
wrong, or I'm too
on,
focused on
it
one
becomes,
unit
yeah.
doing this that I forget that I should be sending this guy here.
Yeah, because so
sending
with
this person
strategy
to do
games,
that.
it's about balancing macro and micro management.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but most players would just do micromanagement. You know, you're playing one character, you're doing one thing. Strategy games are about balancing macro and micro. So taking your smaller movements and sort of like StarCraft players are gods. This is why StarCraft players are gods. Like they would send in a fleet of like ships this way, and they would send in a bunch of like blinking like Protoss units this way, and they would micromanage where the Protoss units blink.
Oh wow.
So they will blink them like up a cliff, and then they will like set a command to fire, make them fire in this general location, and then they will like hide, and they've already like hotkeyed another set of units, and they would send them through another location, and they would have sent like they would have like hotkeys for each ability for every different unit for each squad, and they would be sending 6 squads in at the same time. And Joseph would have to do that in generals as well. Yeah, but okay, so narrative wise not so high. Graphics, presentation.
Presentation. Judge it off the time.
At the time.
If you're talking about
get a graphics card.
Because we're talking about the remasters for a reason, right? People are changing the graphics of a game without changing literally anything else.
Yeah.
Still plays.
Oh, by the way, Red Alert 2 remastered.
Well, there you go.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I'm playing that on Steam.
Oh, you're currently playing it. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So I mean,
So yeah.
presentation I suppose quite high, Joe.
It was very high for us.
What would you give it?
Oh, it's, 8. I'll give it an 8. It was 3D. Everything looked good. Yeah, little explosions and stuff. Had little cinematic scenes as well, like before and intros and outros.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
I guess it's a bit hard to rate a game we played so many years ago, you know? And just
Well, I suppose it has to be relative. It has to be relative.
Yeah.
You know, we can't judge it now.
Yeah, you got to judge it at the time and move on.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, this game blew me away when it came out.
Yeah. And so I suppose, what was the other mechanically? How was it mechanically?
Oh, well, it was great. It's a strategy game. It was really...
Yeah, so RTS mechanics.
Yeah,
So-
it was really, really good.
Yeah, but if you had to give it a number, what is great on a scale of 1 to 10?
For an RTS. Like, what makes an
10
RTS?
if 10 is flawless.
Oh,
What's a flawless RTS for you then? If you had to...
I'd say some of the StarCraft games would be high. Very,
Okay.
very high.
Yep. Yeah, StarCraft is...
So it's 2, obviously.
Well, Blizzard made the best RTS games. Like StarCraft.
I mean, you're looking at Warhammer and stuff as well. I mean, not Warcraft.
Warcraft.
right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and that's a game that just also got remastered and has had a lot of tournaments.
Like, everyone liked Warcraft. Like, even I played Warcraft.
Storyline.
The
Narrative.
storyline was good,
Presentation.
too. What's that
Yeah,
dude
yeah.
who becomes
Arthas.
Arthas? Yeah.
Becomes the Lich King.
Yes.
So
Gets,
narratively, that was a very good game for that time. Because that would be high. Where compared to this one, like I said, it was much to it.
acting, character development.
Yep.
You know, like the storyline from Warcraft 1, 2, 3. You know, characters come from Warcraft 1 over to 3,
Right.
and then sort of like reiterating their lore in number 3, just so people get familiar with it, because it was a very big gap in between.
Right.
So. Okay, yeah, I think this is great, but I think we need one more category.
Okay, so...
Maybe 2 more categories, in fact. I think one category is something
So we've
that's
got narrative, we've got mechanics.
narrative mechanics.
And what was the third one, sorry?
Presentation.
Presentation.
Yeah. Actually, it should be narrative, presentation, then mechanics.
The order doesn't matter.
It kind of does. But it's little to the point.
Yeah.
I think one category we need to put down is value.
Value,
Go on.
as in not just
Monetary
price,
value?
but how much time you put into it.
Time sync is a value?
Is the amount of time collecting all those 100, I don't know, flower things compared to what you get?
Side quest stuff. But then there's other games like, look at Destiny's time sync. And it's not about collecting things for a quest. You just constantly have to stay relevant. In the
Okay,
game.
then value is no longer the.
So what do you mean by value? That's what we have to cover.
I suppose. Do we rush to get it now or not?
Okay. I
Or
see.
is hype the better?
So
is
hype is the better word, I think,
Yeah.
in that regard.
Does it meet up to the hype that was given? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
That's just personal preference as well.
Yeah, that is personal preference, but I
I
suppose.
don't think you can judge a game based off that.
But you know what I'm trying to get at? Like,
Kinda
do we get this game now, or do we just wait for it to go on discount? Because that's something that we would say. So I think that's something that a lot of other people would also.
Is this a must play? Is that what you're talking about?
I think that would be the overall rating, though.
But you wouldn't know that
then
until you play
I take
it.
that back. So that
Yeah, I don't think that works. As a
okay, I take
category.
that back.
That can be an opinion, but not
Okay.
so much of a category.
Okay, but then that brings up the other topic, though.
Things we don't like.
time investment.
Time investment.
Yeah. So I suppose how do we categorize that?
In order to play the game, what does it require you to do? RPGs generally, you can follow just the story.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about other things. But things like Destiny, you can't just follow the story. In order to experience the game, there's so many other things you have to do, which is it takes time.
Yeah, you gotta have friends.
And you gotta have friends, like raiding, for instance. Like we're just trying to get Johannes in now so we can properly raid without looking up online.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't see you just playing Destiny by yourself. You just realistically couldn't.
you accomplish tasks and then you turn off because it's not fun by yourself.
There's only so much you can do by yourself, and
Competitive things, yes, and then trying to find like going around leveling up or getting drops, fine, but no fun by
Fun
yourself.
factor.
Yeah, fun factor is more community based in Destiny 2. But you get a fun factor as a category.
Would you put a fun factor as a category? Because I mean that would just be your overall rating anyway.
There
right?
are games you can play and get through and be like, "That's nice."
Yeah, but you didn't enjoy your time doing it.
But I suppose would that not go under presentation
Not
Or-
necessarily. Because
No, not
you could have
necessarily.
or narrative? Or not necessarily either.
No, because I mean, games can be like to us subjectively trash, and other people enjoy them. But
different genres of games. You
Yeah.
look at movies. You know, you could have a really fun time with comedy, but then you could also be, have some emotions about a drama and stuff like that. But they're on different levels.
this is a deep ass topic for us that we're doing on chat. Like,
No, I mean
structural
this is
topic.
that's what the content should be. You have to actually bring our thoughts and stuff to the table instead of just regurgitating copy paste information on the internet.
No, fair enough. And on that same topic, before we run out of time, the thing we agree that we three of us generally don't like is the Souls-like games. We've covered that.
Yeah.
The Tenchu was once upon a time. Now they make Souls-y games. So you got Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro. These are kind of regarded as the king of games, I guess. Like people just love this shit for some reason. You got Neo 1, Neo 2, which is the similar, and then of course recently we've had Fallen Order, and before that there was Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
That is one of the best narrative games,
Oh, okay, there we go.
hands down. You never played Senua's Sacrifice?
I finished that.
Yeah.
So does that come under the whole thing? I was like, technically it's not that fun, but it was nice to play.
Yeah, like actually it's not fun. It's not a fun game.
I mean,
it's dark.
You can learn to
it's
have
hard.
some fun with it.
Yeah,
but
no. Do you remember playing Dead Space 1?
Yeah.
That was not fun
that was
to
not
play.
fun.
No.
But it was exciting.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So fun is an odd thing to talk about with the game.
I suppose Destiny isn't exactly the most fun game.
That's what we're trying to say. It's only fun when there's more than one of you experiencing the
If you're by
grind.
yourself,
Yeah.
it could very.
get
And I
boring.
suppose you could also so let's say
I can't play Destiny by myself for hours.
So-
I'm like, I've done this. I'm going to do something.
Yeah, so I would say the same thing about Rainbow Six, but then some people still love playing Rainbow. But it's definitely a team game, right? Rainbow Six is definitely a team game.
I mean, it's much more fun when you're chatting with everybody and
And
Yeah.
not being like, oh, you shit, why did you do that? Like, I don't know.
So I think that we need to separate these two topics. The two facets to this.
There's a deeper discussion about how it works, but if we go to this, like we don't like these, right? Have you finished and or played any of these?
I touched them and I just dropped it.
Yeah, I've never
what
actually
about you?
finished one.
I might try Sekiro because Sekiro looks a bit more palatable.
Apparently, it's the harder of them. Neo is the easier of them all, which I am currently playing, like now and again when I can. It isn't that hard. I played Souls 1 and 2. I didn't touch Bloodborne, and I haven't touched Sekiro because it hasn't been cheap enough for me to bother. But there was a point in Souls where you get hit by these stunning enemies, but there's 3 of them, and they just managed to hit me one at a time in such an order that I was all constantly stunned and died.
Okay.
So these games need a bullshit meter?
Bullshit meter, indeed. Well, that's more of a...
Okay, so I
that's a
suppose
critical
fun.
thing. Yeah, that's
Okay,
also
so-
fun and bullshit. Like it's the nonsense meter. But sorry, just continue. We all didn't like these, but one we did, all 3 of us play and finish. That is kind of like this is Fallen Order.
Right.
We all finished and liked this game once it comes up. Boom.
Right.
But
Because the
kinda
fun
plays
factor
the
Is
same.
that because it was Star Wars though?
That's what I'm just going to get to. Was it that it was Star Wars? Was it that your character was super powered compared to nonsense?
You were
enemies?
stronger than the average.
You had a
enemy.
weapon that deflected the very thing they tried to hurt you with.
Yeah.
And you cut them up. Well, in this game, they don't let you cut them up, but it's a lightsaber. It cuts through things.
There was less of me going, "That's some bullshit," than some. Of
You were
others.
the bullshit, right?
Yeah.
You pulled them into they're like no, and you like pulled them in and stabbed them, throw your lightsaber.
Yeah.
You cheated in their world, whereas in the other Souls games, everyone else is cheating, and you're this dude
I
in a
suppose
loincloth
that definitely
and a sword.
adds into the fun factor because you get to play a Jedi. You know, you are beyond yourself.
But then is that more of a narrative point of view? It's the overall
I
narrative
definitely
of the
think
game.
that
is
the
that you're a
narrative,
Jedi.
and I definitely think that narrative in the Jedi Fallen Order is very up there.
I mean, before they were talking about the development, Disney didn't want them to say Jedi at all. Yeah, they were going to have a game with lightsabers and Sith and Empire, and they're not allowed to use the name Jedi. They fought for it. They couldn't use the word Jedi anywhere. They fought to have Jedi in not only the title, but throughout the game.
Because they address him as a Jedi, but he's not a Jedi.
Yeah, but I think Disney were just being really protective of the IP for some weird reason. Sorry, not IP, but of the game.
So then they
I
had
could
to.
see them trying to make it work though without it.
But that's what I'm trying to allude to now is if you had to compare it to the other Souls games and you removed the Star Warsy stuff, is it still better than all the other Souls games?
Well, again,
mechanically and everything
you
else.
You are stronger than your average guy.
Yes.
Thus, all the other Soul games, you're not quite. Everybody else can probably
everyone
kick
else.
your ass.
The first
and one or
enemy you
two
come
hits.
across can kill you.
I mean, not like the normal enemies can't kill you as well. I mean,
they
if you're
can,
not,
but
if you're
they-
not careful,
yeah,
you can
yeah.
get your ass stomped right away. But
Yeah, they had their balancing mechanics where they have like a lasery sort of baton thing that seems
well,
to
even
work
just
like
the
a
normal
lightsaber.
trooper at the very beginning, you could get you if you didn't really know the controls properly.
Yeah, well, that's different. First time you play a game, you're not going to know the controls unless it's a certain type of game, like Shadow of Mordor and Dark.
Well, one can
Ark
say for
Knight.
those Dark Soul type games that all it is controls, and you just
True,
have
they
to
are
learn.
all the same. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I'm trying to get to is this is a Souls-like, but we all played it and enjoyed it.
I don't know. I felt it was more
finished
like
it.
an RPG to me, to be honest, than a Souls-like game.
I guess the Souls-like.
I suppose it reminds you of its Souls-like game because it's a third-person hack and slash.
Also, there's that.
And
There's a
it's got-
meter that
and it's a-
replenishes that you can't use, or your bullshit meter, if you will, when you get to do cool stuff.
Yeah, there is that as well.
There's the intimacy of it. It felt dirty to play because you was like swinging something, and it's like intense.
Yeah, true. Having said that, I think that it definitely is a game that rates very high in a lot of the categories that we
Yep.
have. Mechanically, it's probably, for me, I would say, okay, so let's all rate this because we all played it, right?
Fair enough.
So we'll start with myself because I'm starting it here. Narrative, 9 out of 10,
Agreed.
right?
Yeah,
Joseph?
I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, narrative, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's that whole story of you're a Jedi at the fall of the Fallen Order, fall of the Order. What happens in that time? How do you live your
Yeah.
life? What? Yeah,
I like how Star Wars just gives it an immediate boost up.
it does, but it's Star Wars, right? For a reason.
And then I also think,
But it's a particular time of Star Wars. It's not like the KOTOR games where you're just some dude who gets to go around getting stronger.
yeah,
Everyone's against you in this game, and you're trying to survive. That's all it was.
it's after 7, isn't it? No, after
It's after 3.
After 3, that's right. Sorry, 7 was the original, the original 3. No, 2. So
So my point is that's a good narrative. It's a good
Yes.
narrative point. It's not just you're some Jedi going around slaughtering things. Also, such a weird point that Jedi are peacekeepers, but they have a weapon that kills things, and that's what you do in every Jedi game is you kill things.
yeah,
Oh, well, you can look to the High Republic series that they're making at the moment for information.
Well, that's not out yet, but I'm just saying, for a peacekeeping monkey society, in every game and media you have for it, you go around killing things.
yeah. When you kill the things that aren't bringing you peace.
Just saying, just putting it out
A
there.
bit of controversy.
Just putting it out
well,
there.
No, it's true. It's just the way it
Yeah.
works. It's kind of fucked
All right,
up.
so
but,
we got
you know.
narrative.
Quick to war.
Yeah. So
very quickly.
yeah. So
I think Ahsoka says that in Clone Wars. She specifically mentioned she was trained to be a soldier, someone of peace, but she's gone to war, and now that's all she knows is how to fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's some deep shit.
Yeah.
But okay, so having said that, this is a 9 out of 10 narrative wise.
Yep.
Presentation wise, I think 9 as well.
I think so. You got the sounds, you got the blasters, you got ships flying, you got deep spacey.
I've got a little bit lower. I'm looking at an 8.
Okay.
Okay, an 8 for.
Okay. I was thinking of 8.5, but I felt that like
it's fine. Keep it clean numbers. If you start getting 0.5, you can go to any bloody digit. Doesn't matter.
yeah. So I feel like 9 for me because the presentation was good, but it could have been better. I feel like some of the ponchos like they could have been like different.
Oh yeah,
I was
I
thinking
hate the
more,
ponchos.
like-
I never wore a poncho.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like the music. There wasn't any time the music really like kicked in.
Yes, that is true.
No,
I didn't
what
think
about
about that.
when spoilers Vader shows up? Doesn't it get real deep
Oh,
and heavy?
that's just more because Vader showed up.
Fair enough. He got his own music and stuff. He's Vader.
But throughout the game, it sounded great, but there was nothing that
I mean,
some games
Again,
really give
it's
you that
Star Wars
extra.
sounds.
Well,
and
you
all
give
that
us some
kind of-
classic themes
and
or
the
something
18
towards it.
All the sounds are good.
I mean, Star Wars is all about its classic theme songs, and some of it.
And they used it quite a bit. They replayed them quite a bit in this one. And so
Also, just randomly speaking of that, I love the opening shot of this game where you're in this junk world and
Yeah.
all the ships are just being broken apart. I thought that was real cool.
oh no, that was unique.
Yeah.
That was definitely unique.
I always wondered what happened at the end of the war. Like, what did they do with all these ships? I mean, Empire stuff kind of looks like clone stuff, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah, all those Vindicator class Star Destroyers, they were all just scrapped because you don't get them anymore. Then nothing about Star Destroyers you see now.
It'd be very interesting. That area of Star Wars is something I'd want to look at a lot more as well. That would be really cool. If
Yeah,
did
hopefully
more
they
stuff.
explored more of that in the Mandalorian 2, season 2. Having said that,
Oh, yeah, let's move next
mechanics.
So
Mechanics.
yeah, again, it is a Souls-like mechanic, is it not?
Uh,
you have a burn meter.
I feel like we're diving into calling it a Souls-like mechanic just because it's a third-person hack and slash.
Metroidvania type as well, they like to call it.
They're calling it Metrovania.
Metro Souls-like. It's a combination of a bunch of things, this game. It almost doesn't have a category.
Okay. Well,
But you would definitely call it an RPG overall more
It's
than
an
anything.
RPG.
Well, RPGs are broad though, like
Yeah.
RPGs used to be
play
specifically
a role.
turn-based stuff,
Even
and
in
now
Souls,
it's
like you play a role. Like,
yeah. But I suppose are you playing a role of a character with depth? That's the question. So I
does
suppose,
narrative define the type of game? Like RPGs are high narrative games, so if it's an RPG, it must score above a 6.
yeah,
Would you?
I would say that.
I would guess this.
I would
clearly is.
categorize this as an action game over an RPG.
Action RPG.
An action RPG,
Action
correct?
RPG.
Yeah,
What's
like
the-
how
just for my own
Dragon's
base-
Age Inquisition is an action RPG.
Yeah. What's a non-action RPG? I'm just trying to think in my head.
Oh, Octopath Traveler.
There's action in Octopath. You got a whole battle system.
Yeah, but it's not an action where it's like sort of like live action.
You mean real-time action?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
But then
that's
okay.
that's action.
Oh,
Because
I'm thinking of an indie game like Disco Elysium.
Okay, there you go. There's an RPG without action.
It's got a little bit, but not really. It's all based
that
on
works.
stats
Yeah, that's
and
still
rolls.
action. It's a battle sequence. If you have a battle sequence in your game, it's
yeah, but
action.
it's not action packed where you don't.
The battle sequence itself is, but not the game continually.
Yeah, but it's turn based
But then you're cutting out all the Final Fantasy games
know.
from this category.
because the Final Fantasy games have been classically categorized as RPGs.
That's a turn-based RPG.
Yeah, turn-based RPGs. So turn-based RPGs are different from action-based RPGs. Action-based, you can control the movement,
Okay, fair enough.
right? So I suppose the core fundamental of an action game is controlling the movement live.
Free battles, yeah.
Yeah,
Compared to like a Witcher open world RPG.
yeah. So
This is
Witcher
kinda
is action world.
Yeah, this is an
Oh,
action
it's an
world.
open world.
Yeah, yeah. Open.
Open action RPG.
The
Open
Witcher
world.
2
We're
and
gonna
1
add
would
all
be
these little
action. Yeah.
things.
Yeah. So
All
I
these
mean,
tags.
so that's what. So I suppose that's what it is 1st. I feel like we need more than 3 categories though.
We'll flesh it out more.
We'll
as
flesh it
things
out more,
go.
but it's definitely something that we're starting with. So this is what we're starting with. We're starting with the narrative, mechanical gameplay, and presentation. But yeah, so I think
I also wanted to bring it up because, like, yeah, we're talking about things we don't like, and then we're going to start judging things. But then in these categories, sometimes there's games that are just really good, like Fallen Order.
yeah, that is true.
So
Because-
it's hard to say, oh, I'm not going to touch that because it's that kind of thing. But we should, in case it's
No,
something.
we
like-
definitely
yeah.
should. I mean, like if anything, we should start reviewing more and more games. I think as a section of what we're doing, we can take turns just reviewing a game that we recently played.
But it means putting time into something you may
No, I
not
mean,
like. Or
We don't have to do something
historically
we-
you didn't like. What if we said, Joe, you're going to play Neo 2 for us?
Yeah. I mean, see it from the games
I
we
don't-
brought up.
I don't think-
you guys were picking ninja games, and here I come with a modern military shooter card.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
But there's biases to avoid. You like those, so you will rate it highly off the get-go, which is the thing.
Not
But if
necessarily.
you can get into something that isn't that,
No, I don't
then
think
it's
so.
a good game, right?
I don't think that's the case because, like, for example, Joseph played what was that RPG game that you played that was really deep, and then you loved it, but you really hated it as well. It was like really shit, but good.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, it was it wasn't a Ring of Elysium. It was like
Ring of Elysium.
I forgot what it was, but it was a. It was
What
a
happens in it? Maybe we can piece together.
I didn't play it, but Joseph was playing it. Joseph,
You're telling me.
maybe you were stuck in a rock or something like that.
Stuck in
Was
a
stuck
rock.
in a rock?
So
yeah.
glitch.
Oh, I don't know. It
What
was
happens in the what?
It was like
Anything.
late last year, and Joseph
Yeah.
was playing an RPG
Yeah.
where there was a lot of customization.
Oh, that stupid game.
Yeah,
What was it?
Oh,
You
something
forgot the
like
title too.
Delirium or something like that. It was like a
Yeah.
mix between a sci-fi world and like and the old.
You talking about Elix?
Elix. That stupid
Yes,
club.
yes, that's the one.
Stupid game.
Yes,
The people who made the people who made Gothic.
No, so
Oh my
what I'm saying is
God.
that we're not
Gothic
gonna.
games.
I don't think we should go and like elect people to play games and then sort of like rate them.
Right.
But if Joseph is someone like we pick up a game because we want to play it, and then we just have a good or bad experience with it, we just write it down.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You know,
fine.
we bring it to the table.
Yeah.
Joseph wanted to play Elix,
Elix.
had a shit experience with it,
Yeah.
Finished it.
finished it.
Oh, you just you finished it.
Finished
At
the
least. Yeah,
damn
yeah,
game.
you did.
Yeah, and he said he loved that he liked it,
Yeah.
but he also hated it because it was mechanically rubbish.
It was so terrible to play.
So there was time shifting. Like, how did it go back and forth?
So okay,
Oh, no, it was like
so if you would rate that game,
kind of thing, and then
yeah, but there was the past and future.
there was some aliens or something involved, and you know how apocalyptic worlds you have that technology, but then a lot of people go back to the old ways.
Right.
But there was
Yeah.
it was like wizardry and all that in the old ways, and all the new ways it was sci-fi, guns, lasers.
I mean, like it sounds. Like,
It sounds cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
It
what
sounds
the
like
purpose
everything
was.
we
I was
like about
hell
future
yeah.
has got magic.
magic in the olden
Yeah, yeah.
times, and like
I get it.
Okay.
looking stuff, and then you got some lasers and stuff for the good guys.
Actually,
Okay,
you know
okay.
what? Star
There
Wars
were
is
bad
that as well.
guys.
Wouldn't you agree? You
What?
got lasers and magic in Star Wars because you make things float and you lightning from your fingers and you got
okay.
spaceships.
Yeah, but it was
But I mean, so
I'm just saying, if like a combination of those things.
but that's exactly what I mean. That in itself is like something Joseph would rate to have like I suppose maybe like a 6 or 7 out of
do
10.
not play. It's too hard.
too hard even.
Like just to get the controls to work. It's
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so mechanically it's like a 1.
Mechanically, how what, was it like Witcher 1 and 2? Like, because Witcher 3 flows really smoothly. If you ever
Yeah.
played the first
Witcher 1
two,
was
yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
Yeah,
If,
really
if you
hard.
compare it to Witcher 3 being like modern day kind
Yeah.
of your controls,
Yeah.
yeah, this was definitely like a Witcher 1.
wow. And this was made not long ago.
Yeah, it was.
It was made
pretty new.
after Witcher 3.
So story wise, what would you rate that?
Story-wise,
Narrative.
it was average. Like there was some cool
Top
things
5.
about it, but it wasn't really that gripping.
Okay, yeah. And so presentation?
It was okay.
Yeah. So like a 6?
Yeah, it was. Like I said, the game was. Yeah, it was okay. It was. It was.
Did it look
average
like
as-
all those other Gothic-y games?
Oh,
where
yeah.
They have detail, but it's not
Yeah,
clear. It's sort
yeah.
of fuzzy and weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I suppose we need to also understand that 10 is 10 a flawless or is just really good?
Yeah. I don't think you can give anything flawless or perfect, right? There is no 10 out of 10.
I think we have to acknowledge that, but I think we can't not give some games a 10 out of 10 either. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Unless you want to say that 9 is generally the highest it will generally go, or 9.5 or 9.9. Right?
It would be the principle of our review system then to say we don't give them.
Because then
tens.
we would say, like, we'd have to say
But then
anything
can you
between
say
a 5 and a
something gets
7.
zero? Maybe nothing ever gets a 0 either, you know? What?
Oh.
There's some games I played that are just trash.
He's just reminiscing. He's just sitting there making faces. I'm like, what?
I think, but having said that, there are some titles that we're just going to have to look at and we'll be like, you know what, this is rubbish.
Yeah.
Right? This is absolutely dog shit.
And I feel bad for studios when that kind of stuff happens as well. Like they spend all this time and money.
Well, they
People
just have
put their lives into making
and
this.
the effort made for some of the people, and then
plebs out there being like, nah, this is.
well,
is
to be
lame.
honest, at the same time, the game wasn't that great.
In fairness, yes, that is true. But it's
Something
just so weird.
fundamentally went wrong there
Yeah.
in production.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna wrap this up. Generally, we normally have a homegrown section at the end of this of the series, but we don't really have anything for that this week.
No, it's more, we're trying to avoid that phase 2 of this corona. Everyone keep doing what you've been doing. Stay clean, stay safe.
Yeah, I mean, we
got
it's a
people
general
coming
PSA.
in from overseas. Yeah, general PSA, just to don't get too complacent just yet. The rest of the world is still in turmoil.
Keep using sanitizer. I mean, you can still enjoy life. I mean, New Zealand's in a better place than most other countries.
Yep.
Enjoy life. Do what you want to do. Have fun. See your friends. Go out, travel around New Zealand, invest
go out to dinner,
reinvest
go to bars,
into
it's all
your
good.
country. But at the same time, I feel just keep hygienic.
Be smart.
And if you are coming back into the country, someone that's in the country, make sure you sort of remind them or your friends or your family, just isolate for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Make sure they're safe.
Exactly.
Other than that, I suppose the only thing we can do is remind you that to keep a lookout for the post tonight on the Facebook page. All right, so the Facebook page will be putting up a post. We'll be putting out the instructions, what you need to do. I'll be going through the criteria for that.
Tag, share, was like.
So yeah, like Shadownet on Facebook, share the post, and also tag a friend.
Yes, share,
Right.
share, tag.
Like, share, tag. Real simple. And do that. You'll be in to win. We'll announce the winner next Sunday. You have all week to do this.
Looks like a very nice keyboard. Yeah, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, it's got cherry switches and everything like that, so it's real nice. Yeah, and it's a decent keyboard.
Yeah.
Having said that, we did have a winner. We did announce that last week for the mouse.
Yes.
It is Hannah, I think is her name.
Cool.
But
Congrats.
yeah, congratulations. So so make sure you guys do come by and pick this out. If I do come across an account that is, because the thing is, we picked a couple of accounts first for the mouse and keyboard for the mouse last
That
week.
went so well.
But those accounts were specifically for giveaways, and I'm not giving it to anyone using a giveaway account.
Fair enough.
It
Goes to a person.
It goes to a real human being using their real account.
Yes.
And it might be biased of me to say that, but I'm not giving this to a bot
No.
or someone using an account that could be using a bot. So it might. And that account might be separate. But why would you do that?
I don't know.
Why would you do that? Anyway,
Free stuff.
thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for 600 likes on Facebook.
Oh.
And a crazy time for us here at Shadowchat.
You're good? Brain leaking out your nose?
I'm dying.
No.
I was fine up to this last 2 minutes.
Might not see you next week.
Oh gosh.
RIP.
Isolate for another 2 weeks. So, thank you everybody for 600 likes on Facebook. It's crazy. The amount of support that we get is
Invaluable.
Invaluable. Thank you so much. Make sure that you've we are going to obviously plug this one more time. I'll do another separate video to post up as well. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming by to the podcast. Thank you to PlaytechNZ for letting us use their studio.
Yep.
If you guys want to also use this studio for your podcast or your content creation or whatever, message them. Message PlaytechNZ. Come by, check out the studio. They have another room as well for general streaming
Yep.
that you can rent out and you also use. And make your own content here live at the PlaytechNZ studio. So thank you very much to everybody that supports us. MSI Australia as well for providing all the peripherals that we are giving out every week to lucky winners that are following and supporting Shadownet, the New Zealand scene as well, and just keeping up with helping us keep up with you and the gaming scene and sort of bringing all this news and all this content to you, I suppose, in a very bro-like manner. Which, I was thinking for a while.
Yeah.
We should call the reviews that we do bro views.
Oh, it's terrible.
That is terrible.
Bro views. You know what? Yeah, it's bro views. Reviews. No? Okay. Okay.
So bad.
We're not doing that then.
It's
Okay.
so bad.
Oh, but it was so good.
Oh,
So
my God.
bad, but it's so
Right,
good.
so that's not happening.
And we are going to be bringing a couple more people into doing the reviews. So
gonna-
we're in the process of revamping our website as well to bring in a new means providing this content.
Yeah. Yep.
And so we're revamping our website. We're bringing in some extra talent, other people that we want to help review this content as well. So we'll be looking for new people as well as reaching out to people that we already know.
Yep.
But thank you everybody for supporting us. Thank you for everyone tuning in. We'll see you guys next week where we will be picking the winner for this keyboard and bringing you another topic yet again. So we'll see you guys then. Thank you for supporting us. It's Lan, it's Aiden, it's Joseph. We'll see you guys next week here on Shadowchat. Peace out.